Hello, how are you? This is Els coming from Beam's Crafty Corner, and today we're going to play with these. We all know what these are, right? These are Dollar Tree boxes, and they're drawers, you know. Now, unfortunately, they do cut a big hole in the side, so, you know, we have to work around that, but that's okay. We can do that. So, we're going to be doing this. 6 of these. We're going to start with 6. Doesn't matter what the shapes are on the front. We're going to start with 6 of these, and if you go by the Hobby Lobby, or any craft store really, you can get these little round, they're called finial caps, but they work as drawer pulls pretty good. And so what we're going to build is like a little apothecary drawer, okay? And you can do this any way you want. You can do as many of these little boxes as you want. I have 6 of them, so I can either, you know, do the 3x3 job. I can do a 2x3 job, or if I really want to be creative, I could stair step them, okay? Because that's, you know, what 6 is going to allow me to do. Now, you're going to want a couple of special tools on this one, so I'm going to go ahead and get those out, and I'll be back to give you that list in just a minute, okay? Okay. So, the first thing you're probably going to want is a heat tool to get these labels off. If you heat this up, it should come right off if you have any problems with it, but they're pretty good. If you just get the corner of it, it's going to come off all in one piece and leave no residue, okay? So we're going to want to do that, and then we're going to want to separate all of these pieces. And what I do is I do the boxes first, and then I do the drawers second. So we'll separate those. So we just need the boxes at this point. And I'll get them all cleared up. Get the labels off of them here in a second. So once you have all your boxes, you're going to want some water. One of these 6-inch bar clamps. If you can't get one of these, you know, or you don't have one of these, another option is some baker's twine, a clothespin, and some kind of a clamp, okay? Like, you know, these, or a binder clip will work on this. Something to protect your workspace. I like a nice mop brush, and then a couple of shades of brown paint, okay? Because we don't want to paint these, we're going to stain them. We're going to do like a faux stain, okay? So, let me get some stuff out of the way here, and we will get started. Another thing you may want for these is if you have some dowels or chopsticks from the Chinese store, you know, from the Chinese restaurant. These have holes in the bottom of them, so you can actually set them on something and paint them, and then let them dry in a jar. So that is also a helpful tool. If you don't have any of this, rubber bands. Get out rubber bands. They're your friends, okay? So I'm going to get some stuff out of the way, and I'm going to come back and we're going to get started on the boxes. I'll be right back. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is create our faux stain. This is burnt sienna. You know, it's a pretty popular brown color. So I'm going to put some of that in there. And I need to make enough to cover all of them, okay? Otherwise, they're going to be different colors. And this one is called Chocolate Drizzle. So I'm going to put the 2 colors in, and I've got them about equal parts, and then I'm going to put in some water. And then I'm going to use a stick and stir this. And I will add water as necessary until I get it to a very thin consistency, but that my colors are well mixed, okay? And what I'm looking for is the shade that I want to use on here. Now, this is a little thick, so I'm probably going to add some more water. This is just regular acrylic paint. Now, I'm going to kind of test it out on this to see if it's, you know, the shade I want. So I'm going to brush it on, and then I'm going to wipe it off. I like it. It's kind of an antique look, okay? So, now that I have my color, get these out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the outside of my boxes. And I'm going to do this pretty quick. Okay, so it's going to go on and off kind of thing. Because I don't want it to be too dark on here. Okay. So we're on, and then we're off. Okay, so I can still see the wood grain through here, but it has the color. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to all of these on all the sides, including the back and the insides. And then I'm going to come back and we'll move on to the next step. Okay. Alrighty. So these are done. They are painted inside and out all the way around, and they're ready to go. So what's next? All right, let me get these out of the way. So the next thing we're going to do is do the exact same thing to the drawers themselves. So we're going to bring these over, and we're going to get these done. And again, I'm not worried about this part because we're just going to cover this piece here with some paper. So I'm not real worried about, you know, I'm going to put some paper on the inside of this once it's all painted and everything. So that'll cover that so nothing comes, you know, nothing falls through. So we're just going to get these painted and get them ready to go into the drawers, into the boxes to make the drawers. And I will be back when I'm done with that. Okay? So go ahead and get your insides painted. I'll be right back. Okay. So these are all painted inside and out. And the boxes are done. So these will now fit in these. Okay? So we are going to clear everything off of here because the next part we need to do is the knobs. So let's get all this. Okay, we're back. I have this, it's called Espresso, and it is a metallic acrylic paint. So I have my pokey sticks, I have my thing to put pokey sticks into, and I have my pieces. So I'm using a thinner brush. And we're just going to paint these up this metallic color. I'm probably going to end up putting 2 coats on here. So I'm going to do the first one, and then I'm going to let that dry, and then do the second coat. And once I have these all dry, then we're going to put this whole thing together. So, get out your sticks, or however you want to paint these, and get them painted, and then I'll be back, and we will start gluing things together, okay? All right, I'll be back in just a few minutes. I'm going to let these dry, so we're going to move them out of our way. And we're going to get out our ruler. We're going to measure our boxes. And they are 2.5 by just about 2 3/4. They're not all exactly the same size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some 110-pound cardstock. I'm going to cut 2 3/4. And then I'm going to cut some 2.5-inch pieces. Okay. And these should fit just inside. So what we're going to do is, you'll see there are a little bit, some of them, see this? It's got a little bit of a lip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that up, and I'm going to use my pencil, and I'm going to draw a line. So I can take that part off. And then I'm going to put these inside my box on this side, okay? So I'm going to do all my boxes. Again, I'm going to put it in. Got a little bit of a lip here. Draw a line. Trim that part off. And then I'm going to glue these in so that my boxes, my drawers, have a back to them, because they have the hole in it, and I don't want anything to fall out of the back of my drawer. So I'm going to be putting these on, and I'm going to be using probably my 3-in-1 here, and then I'm going to let that dry. So I'm going to cut my pieces for all of these, put the backs on while we're waiting for the knobs to dry, and then using my 3-in-1, I'm going to go ahead and install all of those backs for these drawers. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so while these are all drying, I'm just going to measure the opposite side. There's the paper, put it in there, and I'm just going to measure the opposite side, which is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, and I'm going to cut a piece of paper that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Because I want to make sure that I get my handles in the middle. Alright, so what I'm going to do is use my ruler. And I'm going to draw, I'm going to put this on my board here. Harry, stop. You're not a very good supervisor. No, you're not. So I'm going to draw a line from point to point, and then I'm going to draw a line from point to point. That is center, and then I'm going to get my pokey tool, poke a hole in it. That is the center. So I'm going to put it on here, and I'm going to use my marker. And I'm just going to put a little dot here. This way I know where the center of each drawer is, and all my handles are in the right place. Now, these boxes they're inexpensive, so they're not exactly perfect. So you're going to have to figure out which drawer goes in which slot after you're done with the whole process, okay? So I'm going to get these all marked. Now, if you want to seal this with polyurethane, I would do that before I put in the paper. Okay? But if you're not going to spray the back piece, don't worry about it. It's not even going to hurt the paper, to be honest. Okay? But I like the raw look. So, alright. So we are at the point where I believe the knobs are dry. These got a few more minutes. They're a little bit tacky. And then when we come back, we're going to finish letting the paper dry. And when we come back, we're going to start putting handles on our boxes, on our drawers, and getting our boxes glued together, okay? So I'll be back in just a few minutes, and we will move on to the next part of this process. Okay. We have dots on our boxes. We have our pulls. Now, you could use screws to attach these if you want to. I am just going to be using a little bit of quick grip. And this is a Beacon product, just like the 3-in-1. But this is actually the way that they recommend this, is that you put it down, okay, and then you pick it up and put it back down. I have a little bit of a glue smudge there. I'll get it off later. As I said, you can, you know, if you want to, you could drill a little hole and put this on with a little screw. But for me, I'm just going to glue them on for now. I will probably screw them on later. But they're hollow inside, so it makes it a little bit difficult. Last one. Put you there. Okay. So now I'm going to get these out of the way, and I'll be back with the outside pieces, and we're going to get those positioned and set up, okay? I'll be right back. Alright, so let's go over a few things first. If you do not have a clamp like this, where you can, you know, open it up, put it on the boxes, and close it, if you don't have one of these, and you do not have these, your next option is to use some twine. Cut a piece of this and a clothespin. And all you would do is glue it and then bring it, the clothespin, the string around, put the clothespin on, and turn it. Okay, so you'd basically make a giant loop. Okay. And then glue your pieces together. Wrap your twine around them. Make sure that you get them nice and square and straight and where you want them. And then put in your clothespin and just turn it, and then using a small clamp or binder clip, you can hold this in position so it doesn't spin, and it will hold these nice and tight. Okay? All right. So that's a few ways that you can put them together and hold them together. The other way, if you really want to do it, you can use a rubber band. Okay? So what you need to do is you need to kind of find 2 boxes or 3 boxes, however many boxes you're going to use, that fit nicely together. Okay? And once we find the ones we like, we have to kind of decide, am I going to do this 3x2 stair step? And I think I'm going to kind of do the stair step. I like that look. So I'm going to put adhesive on here. I'm going to bring these 2 together. Use a towel to take off any excess. And I'm going to clamp these. Okay. And I'm doing 3 on the bottom, so. And I am using the placement of these to deal with any, like there's spots where some of the wood glue wouldn't take the color. So I can use that to my advantage. Let's give it a clamp on there. And then I'm going to make sure that these stay nice and tight by tying another piece of string around the bottom portion. That one looks pretty good. All right, we're going to set that one off to the side. Bring in the next 2. Now you could use wood glue here if you want to. Entirely up to you. And the last one is actually going to go up here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on right now. And we're going to let this glue set up. And this glue can take quite a bit of time to set up. So I'm going to put the lid on the tube. Ooh. Put this away. And then we're going to go ahead and put these together. Alright, so I'm going to let the whole thing set up, both pieces, and once they're dry, I'm going to attach this piece to this piece, and I'll be back, and we will work on the rest of that. And so now we have a lot of things here that need to dry, okay? These need to dry. These need to dry. Once everything's dry, then we'll come back and put it all back together, okay? All right, I'll see you in a little bit. All right, so it's been a while. Everything is pretty much glued up. So let's start with the string off there. So we just have like one more step of glue up to do. And that is to glue this onto here. And then we're going to put some more clamps on it. We'll let it set up. And then we'll be pretty much done. This out of the way. Out of the way. And put this on its back. Clamp. 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 All right. So now I'm going to let this set up for about another hour or so, and then we can put the drawers in and we will be all done with this one. Okay, all right, so it's all dry. I'm going to take off my clamps that I was using to hold it, and you know, we're going to go ahead and put these in. Now the nice thing is you can put them in this way or you can put them in this way. It depends on, you know, where you're going to be putting this. 2, 3, 4, 5. There they are. Now you may have to mess around with these a little bit because not all these boxes are exactly the same. You know, some of them have a little more wiggle room than others. So figure it out. You can spray this with some polyurethane or paint some polyurethane on it. And what I would recommend is if you're going to put this in a bathroom, definitely do that. You can use it on a craft table. You can use it in your bathroom, put Q-tips and cotton swabs and Band-Aids and things like that in it. Hair bands, you know, the things that you look for all the time. This would be cute in there. You could also put a couple of little legs on the bottom of it if you wanted to, just to get it, you know, up a little higher. But you could put this on your craft table, and you could put, you know, one like on either side of your craft table, and that would give you a lot of storage space. But that's it. That's my project. So if you are so inclined, give me a thumb. Any old direction will do. And subscribe. if you want to know what I've got going on, what's coming up, classes, projects, tutorials, all that stuff, check out the community tab here on the YouTube channel, or go down to the description box below. There's a whole bunch of links down there to take you to all kinds of different places with all kinds of fun things to do. But this is my project for today. Thank you so much for coming along with me. Until I see you again, stay well, my friends. Bye-bye.